Holds the most grudges on your show?
Male.
Who's second?
Ooh. Second. Ugh. Tisha? I say Tisha, but she don't be wanting to be. You know what I'm saying? But
I think Tisha.
she's sweet, but she don't.
She's very sweet.
Yeah, but she be trying to be me. So.
Not trying.
Okay, so let's talk about the latest chaos on Love and Marriage Huntsville. We've seen drama before, sure, but this one takes it to another level. Nobody expected Stormi to end up in the emergency room after what happened with Latisha. But to really understand this, we need to rewind a bit, because things didn't just start when she was on that stretcher. It all began with a supposed calm meeting. Stormi and Latisha were meant to get together to settle their issues. Stormi thought it would be a simple conversation. No cameras, no interference, just a chance to talk things through. That was the plan. She even prepared herself mentally, expecting a peaceful discussion. However, things changed when Stormi brought her close friend along. That's when tension began to rise. During the conversation, the friend mentioned a rumor about Mauro possibly having a child with someone else.
Pick it up, there's a lot going on, but now that I got it, I feel like basically what happened was Moses was cheating on Destiny apparently. That may or may not be the reason why they separated. Sonny came along at that time and was talking to him, and he was talking to another woman, and she was cool with that, and in some kind of way he stopped talking to the other woman, and then within 90 days he got married.
That's a 90 days again.
It's a lot. And then so I do agree with Destiny. Like, what that say about you? Like, you just cool. Like, why would you do all that waiting for this man?
At first, it was a casual mention, something like, "People are talking about Mauro. Maybe you should address it." But Latisha didn't take it lightly. Witnesses said her mood changed immediately. Latisha didn't just get upset. She snapped completely. Voices escalated, hands started moving, and objects were thrown. Stormi attempted to calm her down, but it was too late. Security had to intervene, and production reportedly cut the scene off immediately. Sources claim that cameras were still rolling during the altercation, which means this isn't just behind-the-scenes gossip, it's documented footage. Producers now have to figure out if it's safe to air because of how intense the situation got. This wasn't a simple argument. After the confrontation, Stormi's condition worsened.
Behind the Love and Marriage Huntsville page. No, okay, I'll say this. Nobody beat me up today. I ain't got beat up by a goddamn person. I'll say that. Not a hand, not a nut. Sorry. Folks like to lie. Not a touch. Okay? Yeah, sorry.
Witnesses said she broke down completely. She was shaking, crying, and struggling to breathe. Someone on set shouted for help, and EMTs arrived quickly. Stormi was barely responsive when they reached her. They gave her oxygen and rushed her to the hospital. According to insiders, doctors diagnosed her with an acute stress reaction. That's not the same as being startled or upset. This is a serious medical condition where the nervous system essentially shuts down from emotional trauma. Stormi had to be monitored overnight, hooked up to medical equipment, and even sedated, all because a conversation spiraled out of control. Now, it gets even more interesting. Melody, yes, Melody Holt, showed up at the hospital. Imagine this. Stormi, still on a stretcher and overwhelmed from what just happened, sees Melody walk in, without cameras, without media, just herself.
To have people around you who have a similar mindset, be okay with cutting off people who don't.
Melody and Stormi haven't always seen eye to eye. Fans know they've had a tense relationship, with small shades thrown at each other over time. Seeing Melody appear quietly shocked everyone. There were no social posts, no stories, no public announcement. Melody simply entered, sat with Stormi, and checked on her. According to sources, this was genuine care. She didn't have an agenda or plan to gain clout. She simply wanted to support another woman in distress. The two shared a private moment. Stormi cried, and Melody stayed, comforting her, talking, and calming her nerves. This wasn't for the cameras. It was real. Fans are now wondering if this could mark a new chapter for their relationship. Could this be the start of a genuine friendship? Or is Melody strategically aligning herself to appear supportive in case things escalate further on the show? Honestly, it could be both.
Like, this is crazy. Like, people are really offering you money to come on this show and lie. So at that point, I was like, forget it. It's a lie. Like, now I don't believe it.
Meanwhile, the network is panicking. This isn't just typical reality television drama. Someone ended up in the hospital. That is a huge liability. Production is now reviewing footage frame by frame, trying to determine what happened, who was involved, and whether anyone acted too late. If Latisha was aggressive, did production fail to prevent it? Could they be legally responsible? When emergencies occur on set, especially triggered by conflict, it isn't just entertainment, it's a legal risk. Stormi's husband, Courtney, is furious behind the scenes. Sources say he's demanding accountability and maybe consulting legal counsel. And he has every reason to be upset. His wife nearly collapsed on camera, and from his perspective, production didn't intervene fast enough. That pressure puts the entire show on edge. Some executives are reportedly considering removing Latisha from the cast entirely, not only because of what occurred, but also because keeping her could spark further complications. Just when it seemed things couldn't spiral further, new information emerged about Mauro. Someone close to him, familiar with his personal and business life, claims he's renting a separate apartment off the books. This is paid entirely in cash. Why would a married man need a secret, cash-only location? That raised eyebrows immediately, but there's more. This source also claimed to have seen Mauro coming and going with a younger woman who resembles Latisha. She wasn't hiding either. Multiple sightings reportedly include everyday activities like grabbing food or entering medical offices. One of these visits was even to an OBGYN, where Mauro was allegedly spotted in the waiting area while the young woman went in for an appointment. Though no public proof exists, many observers claim she appeared pregnant during these visits. On top of that, Mauro is reportedly trying to influence what footage producers show on the program. He's allegedly requested that certain scenes be removed, especially those where people question his actions or personal life. If he had nothing to hide, why intervene? This silence fuels suspicion that there may be more going on than meets the eye. Now, Latisha's reaction is curious. After this intense hospital scene, you might expect her to post something online, issue a statement, or at least acknowledge what happened. But she hasn't. No Instagram updates, no interviews, nothing. Fans are noticing the absence. When someone remains silent after a serious situation, it naturally raises questions. Are they protecting themselves, or do they know something is true that they can't deny? Some viewers speculate that Latisha is avoiding exposure for her public image. After all, being associated with a physical confrontation that ends with an ambulance doesn't look good. Others think her silence could indicate knowledge of the Mauro rumors. Comments from fans reflect this split perception. Latisha is acting guilty. If it wasn't true, she'd be defending herself, one wrote. Another said, she vanished right after snapping on national TV. If the side baby story was fake, she'd have hit back. The fan base is divided. Some believe Stormi went too far by mentioning Mauro, claiming it wasn't her place. Others support Stormi, especially after she landed in the hospital. They argue Latisha allowed her emotions to take over and may have acted too aggressively. If there's any truth to the baby rumor, Stormi was justified in asking difficult questions. So what's the takeaway here? Did Stormi cross a line by bringing Mauro into the discussion? Or did Latisha go too far by using physical force? And do you believe Mauro has a secret relationship or child? These questions are on everyone's mind. Meanwhile, the situation raises broader questions about reality television. When disputes escalate beyond verbal arguments, it's not just entertainment. It becomes a health risk, a legal concern, and a network nightmare. Production teams now have to weigh safety, liability, and audience perception carefully. One uncontrolled incident can jeopardize an entire season. Stormi's medical emergency is a reminder that reality TV isn't just scripted fun. Real people are involved, emotions run high, and consequences can be severe. Add personal relationships, rumors, and outside pressures, and it's easy to see why a simple conversation could spiral into a crisis requiring medical attention. At the same time, moments of support, like Melody's hospital visit, show that genuine care still exists behind the cameras. Not everyone is playing a game or thinking strategically. Some people step up because they recognize the human element in these chaotic situations. As for Morrow and the alleged side apartment, questions about accountability, transparency, and potential deception continue to circulate. Producers and viewers alike are left wondering who can be trusted, who is hiding something, and how far off-camera activity impacts on-screen narratives. The silence from Latisha adds fuel to these speculations. Her inaction speaks louder than words. Some fans interpret it as guilt, others as caution, but either way, it's a powerful signal that influences public perception. This entire series of events highlights the fragility of reality TV environments. One moment of conflict can result in a hospital visit, legal scrutiny, and public speculation. At the same time, it demonstrates the potential for reconciliation, empathy, and unexpected friendships emerging from tension. Ultimately, the Stormi-Latisha confrontation, the hospital emergency, Morrow's secretive behavior, and Melody's supportive actions all combine to create a highly charged narrative. Fans are not just watching a show, they're observing real-life consequences of decisions, relationships, and personal choices. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Did Stormi push the conversation too far by bringing up Morrow? Did Latisha act inappropriately when things escalated? And do you believe Morrow has a side relationship or even a child? Share your thoughts in the comments. We're reading everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because the story is far from over. Screenshots, evidence, and more revelations could be coming next.